Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Thursday, January 23rd, after the Celtics 117-113 overtime win against the Clippers, or the shell of the Clippers, I should say. No Harden, no Powell, no Zubac, no Leonard, no Drew, Porzingis, or Al for the Celtics either. Just a complete mess of a game. But the Celtics managed to win anyway, so there you go.
So fuck the Celtics first and foremost for going overtime today. Real scumbag move when you have the majority of your fan base on the East Coast watching this game. Very inconsiderate to do against a Clippers team that is very much depleted, as Jack said. However, there are a very select few of us that would say today was worth it. Because today was the Jaden Springer game.
It was.
I've been waiting for this day since July of 2024 when I watched that man light Cox Pavilion on fire. And he was given an opportunity today, which has not happened yet this season for what it's worth, a real opportunity. And he literally turned I don't want to say he turned the game on its head.
No, he
but
did. You can say that. Go ahead.
I'll say it. I'll say it. I'll say it. He turned the game on its head. I mean, the guy came in. The Celtics could not buy a stop. They were getting killed by Kevin Porter Jr. I refrained from making a joke there. And he put an end to it. Absolutely just annihilated Kevin Porter Jr. Had him in jail where he should be. Seriously, just absolutely had the energy the Celtics needed off the bench. So happy to see him get an opportunity because he was excellent. And he made the dagger. He made the dagger 3.
Springer was great. Springer was great in this game. He finished with 8 points, 2 rebounds, 4 steals in 20 minutes, but he had his 4 steals in like 12 minutes. He was awesome. I mean, he completely changed the way the Celtics were playing defense in this game. They looked like they were, half-assing defense half of the time. And I mean, for a lot of this game, the Clippers were even making the shots where they had hands in their face. So like there was a certain point where like, what the hell? But a lot of these defensive possessions were just the Celtics not putting enough pressure on the ball, and that's what Springer came in and did. He came in late in the third quarter, got 3 steals in 4 minutes, and then played a lot of the fourth and into overtime as well. The offense still isn't amazing enough where you can say, okay, he'll get regular minutes now, but he made 2 big threes, and he definitely deserves some more looks in the rotation after this because, I mean, he won them this game. I think that he was awesome. I assume he'll be talking after the game in the locker room at the very least because he was the most important player in this game.
What a great day. What a great day. I'm so happy for him. I mean, just from like a non-basketball perspective, even though it is a basketball perspective, guy's been sitting there the whole year, like showing up, going through his workouts, staying ready, finally gets a chance and just lights the game on fire with his defense.
Yeah. They needed it, man. They needed it bad. Must be nice. Must be nice to see your guy get minutes.
Literally
the only one. Just the only one. He's got to be hurt. Tillman has to be hurt. I refuse to believe otherwise. Regardless, Jaden Springer won the Celtics this game. That was super fun to watch unfold. Going through some other stuff, Derek Jones and Amir Coffey and Kevin Porter Jr. just decided to be the 3 most incredible basketball players you've ever seen in your life. Like I said, the Celtics did not do enough to prevent them from getting downhill. They didn't do enough to put pressure on them getting to the mid-range. But holy shit, did they make some ridiculously tough shots in this basketball game. Like this was some of the most insane shot making I have seen from a team all season. Of course it was this Clippers team, and of course it was this game. That said, the Celtics didn't play good enough defense. I don't think they pressured the ball enough. I thought Springer and Derek White and Luke Cornett did a pretty good job later in the game when they were trying to solidify it. But for a long stretch early in this game, there was just not enough ball pressure.
So one thing about this game is I didn't get as mad as I thought I would get given the performances that we saw on the other end of the ball, meaning the Clippers. somebody was going to have to score all the points today. Did we think it was going to be a career high for Derrick Jones Jr.? Probably not. But it was something that was bound to, well, I mean, I guess it really wasn't bound to happen. I mean, there are games where NBA teams just put up 60 points like the Nets did against this Clippers team last week. So it is it is possible that nobody would have showed up for the Clippers today, but credit to the guys that did, because it's not often that they get the opportunity to just play freely and do what they want to do. Derrick Jones Jr. did a great job of taking advantage of it early. Granted, I think the Celtics made it a little bit easy on him, like you mentioned. Derrick Jones Jr. might have been the don't defend him at the 3 guy early on until they had to change their mind. Then they started to defend him and he stopped getting shots, which was a good adjustment. But overall, they could have absolutely benefited from more of what we saw from Jaden Springer. This game might not have been as close as it was had they just picked up the intensity without having to almost put themselves in position to lose. Like, they were down 6 pretty late in this game, and it was like, are they ever gonna like sit up in the chair, or are they just gonna sit there and be like, oh, it's late?
Yeah, I mean, it was so frustrating for most of the game watching them like play pretty good offense for a while, and then the offense developed a little, and then the defense was bad. It was just like such an awkward game. Like it wasn't as bad as like the Raptors or the Hawks game, in my opinion. Obviously because they won, but even if they had lost, I wouldn't have thought it was as bad, because it did feel like even when they were playing good defense, it was just like, what the hell? Jayson Tatum was not good. Like, I know that he put up like 24, 7, and 8, right? That's fine. Jaylen Brown was pretty good for most of it. He had 25, 2, and 6. 10 turnovers for those guys combined. They were so sloppy with the ball. I thought Tatum's shot selection was pretty shit for a lot of this game. Felt like he wasn't playing the right way for stretches. I thought Jaylen Brown did a pretty good job of forcing the offense into getting shots that he wanted, as in he wasn't settling for shots he was driving. But what a weird 2 games for Jayson Tatum. 2 wins for the Celtics, and he's obviously making an impact, right? Him having the ball and dishing to other guys is enough, right? He is a good enough player where that is all he has to do sometimes. But what a sloppy couple nights for him, in my opinion, in terms of shot selection. I don't know if the turnovers were in the Warriors game, but he should have had more than the 5 turnovers he had in this Clippers game. There were a couple where they got the ball back, and Jaylen Brown was really good for most of it. And then, Jesus Christ, the last few minutes of this game, he just couldn't like pass the ball out of a trap or get anywhere. Like, what a mess of a game for those 2 guys. And I don't know if you saw it. Joe was really getting mad because they didn't call a timeout. That was the loudest timeout call I've ever heard on the broadcast. I don't know how they didn't hear it on the court.
I'll start with Tatum. I am usually not a notice the lethargicness type of guy. I just usually don't pick up on it. I'm more focused on like everything that people are focused on when they watch the game. But even I noticed, and I was like, wow, Tatum looks like the way he looks in transition on defense, but for like the entire game. He just kind of did look out of it, and there was a lot of bad shot selection. I felt like he said, "Hey Sam, you didn't like that I took 10 threes against the Warriors? Watch this, 13 of them, right for you." He did make a big one in overtime to set the tone for what it's worth.
He did.
But yeah, I don't think we're seeing the best ball from him. I think he's falling into a little bit of a midseason just boredom, which is fine. I mean, if they're gonna win games when he's bored, fine with me. It's better than him winning player of the week and then they're, pissing everybody off. Which, by the way, he did win player of the week. Congratulations. What is this, third, fourth one of the season? Feels like he's won a lot of them. Jaylen had me scratching my head at the end of the game. How about Jaylen? First of all, credit to him. He was 7 of 9 from the free throw line in this game, despite the wall. But also very interesting that Jaylen was the one that was trying to hold the ball and get fouled at the end of this game. It was like, yeah, maybe not. Maybe Derek. Maybe one of the guys that shoots a very high percentage from the free throw line. And it ended up leading to the trap, which you were talking about in the offensive foul, because he was trying to draw the Clippers to foul him, to milk the clock.
It wouldn't surprise me if like they were trying to find someone else elsewhere, and Jaylen was just like the safety valve, which criticize him being the safety valve if you want, sure. but it's just like,
He has to be on the floor. Absolutely has
yeah,
to be.
exactly. So, I don't know, man. Just a weird game for those two guys. Derek, I thought was pretty good. He didn't shoot the ball super efficiently, but I thought he made big shots towards the end of this. 6 rebounds, 4 assists, ended with 20 points. I
Shot
thought his
decent
defensive
on
pressure
the
was
high
good.
volume.
He did.
Considering
He
what
did.
we've seen, like overall, I'm pretty satisfied with this. And like you said, made big shots in this game. Like he was a
Yes.
big part of like the oh my god, they're awake part of this game when he started making a couple
Yeah.
threes, made one to start the overtime. Like you said, big shots, big spots. This is the Derek White that we've seen now for the last 2 years, really almost three since he was traded here. But that first half season wasn't great for him. Need it. Celtics are at their best when Derek's at his best. He is the clear barometer for the team. Not to say he's the best guy, but his play usually reflects how the team plays, or at least what the result is.
Yeah, he was 5 of 8 and 3 of 5 in fourth quarter and overtime combined. Like he really turned it up, made some big shots, carried the load offensively for what the Celtics wanted to do. Pritchard couldn't hit his shots as much in this game. I thought he was still fine. He had 9, 4, and 3. He was a plus 10, so that should probably mean something, but he was not as efficient as maybe you want him to be. Luke Cornett played 30 minutes, had 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, a steal, and 1 block. But I thought
Pros out
his
there running.
interior defense I thought was pretty important, especially down the stretch as the Clippers were trying to come back from the little lead the Celtics had built for themselves. So I thought Luke was actually pretty good in the minutes he played. And then Nimi was a minus 12. I thought Nimi was pretty good in this game. I don't think that's a real fair assessment of how he played. He had 11 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. There were
Played decent
the
defense
few.
too.
He did. There were like the first couple minutes he was in the game, he was cooked on defense, right? He was lost. He wasn't guarding things correctly. He was out of position. And then he got into the flow of things. I thought he was a big body for them to pass to an offense, which was a good thing. I thought he kept up, moved his feet well on the perimeter a little bit. So I thought he improved in that area. And then later in the game, it got back to, okay, Nimi, you're fouling a little bit too much. So there were definitely some downsides, but I thought this was definitely a net positive Nimi game, which is good considering he hasn't played much lately.
Yeah, I think it was a good spot for him. And like you said, having not played as much lately with, Porzingis and Al being in the lineup or without them today, he's of course going to have minutes. And I agree. I think he provided a little bit of a spark off the bench. He made the most of the minutes. Plus minus is weird. Kind of think he just kind of got caught in a weird run for the Clippers where guys weren't really missing a lot of shots. And I don't think a lot of that was his fault. There were a couple defensive possessions where he really locked in and did a good job of keeping guys from being able to fake them out and kept guys out of the paint. There was the play that it was Jalen's block, but they both kind of blocked the shot, and that was a really good possession because they went at him twice with 2 different guys, and he held his own. So we see flashes of him being able to do it. It's not as consistent as it needs to be for him to be a real rotation piece right now. But you can see a little bit of a world where if he figures that out, maybe he's able to eat minutes in the like in the years to come.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Nimi net positive still clearly has some stuff to work on, but was definitely better in this game than he has been in some recent games. So that's a good thing. Sam Hauser, for whatever reason, didn't play a ton in the second half, but he was red hot, 5 of 7. So he did his job for most of it.
I pronounced him dead on Monday.
Yeah,
Not good.
I think I wasn't gonna overreact to what you're saying. I thought that was one of your most ridiculous takes as of like the last
The people on
year or
first
so.
floor didn't like it.
Yeah,
People in the comments did not like it.
I understand. I get why. I think it's
Hand
a bit
up.
of an overreaction.
I was wrong.
Yeah, he's great. Really, really
He
good in
has
this
driven
game.
me
5 of
crazy
7.
this year, but I will say
Sure.
he's not dead.
Sure. I think that's a very safe thing to say. Yeah, Hauser was good. Shireman got some real minutes and then didn't see the floor again. I thought he was okay as he played. His shots didn't go down, but I thought he was moving his feet well. It looked like
How
he
about
wasn't getting
Walshy?
killed out there. So Walsh was good. Played 9 minutes, hit a 3, good defense, good hustle. So that was a good thing. Just such a weird game, man. Like how bad can these guys be at executing in the last 4 minutes? Like
They
it's
despise
it's crazy.
closing games. I tweeted it. They sold their soul to win game 1 of the conference finals last year. We've seen them now essentially become the Pacers in that situation twice within a
Mhm.
week. Not good. Not good. They need to figure out how to avoid traps at the end of basketball games. They need to learn how to take a deep breath if, there's a couple guys swarming them for the basketball and just get ready to eat the foul. You can do it.
Mhm.
Every team does it. It's completely possible.
I don't get it, man. I just don't understand why they like vomit all over themselves. It's so unlike what they were doing last year, and like even the year before, before the title year, it was a more of a steady. We're gonna blow the lead over 10 minutes, over and a half. Now it's like, oh, okay, we got 4 minutes, we're up by 4. How can we send this game to overtime? Not lose. Not how can we lose? How can we ensure the math is it's like they're doing a 2-for-1 on how to get the game tied at the end of regulation. It's incredible.
How can we make this the biggest challenge possible?
Oh my god, dude. I will say you really did miss Horford and Porzingis, I think, in this game, and Drew. Obviously, you missed 3 starters / rotation guys. It's gonna be tough, but like the defensive pressure that those guys bring, I think you definitely missed in this game. That said, when the opponent is Terrence Mann, Kevin Porter Jr., Derek Jones Jr., Amir Coffey, like you should be able to bring defensive pressure regardless. Like that should not be the excuse that is used. But they got to win. Their first back-to-back wins since January 2nd and 3rd against the Rockets and Timberwolves, or Timberwolves and Rockets. And they play again in, let's do math. How many
They don't have
hours?
to travel though, which is pretty
20
good.
hours, 22 hours. Well, they travel a little bit. Same city, but not same building anymore.
20-ish hours.
20-ish hours. Oh, man. I'll have everybody back and healthy. Knock on wood for that one.
Do you want to read RJ's email? Because we're not going to do
Sure.
He just sent us one about the game. I think it's only fair.
Sure.
I can read
RJ
it
just
off my
sent this
phone
email.
if you'd like.
No, I got it.
Okay.
This is what RJ had to say. We'll read. Sorry, RJ and Philip. We'll read these two on the next pod, but this one is about this game, so we can throw it here. Almost 10:30 p.m. here on the West Coast, but got to give love to the player of the game against
You
Clips,
poor
Jaden
thing.
Springer. He locked up Porter Jr. on defense. He hustled on the boards, even if he didn't secure them. He hit not 1 but 2 clutch 3-pointers. Heck, maybe we can trade him straight up for Walker Kessler now. Springer played 20 minutes of the final 29, and Shyman and Walsh got some minutes too. Long season, everyone will have their moment. Tonight it was Springer's. Good going, young man. Be well. RJ, who really enjoyed this game. Yeah, I mean Springer played great.
Enjoyed this game. Get out
I
of
don't
here.
know if I'm curious if this saved him enough to not get traded, or if it had the opposite effect where they can now get a second for Springer and clear the books. Not to spit in the face of a good moment, but it does make me wonder what it looks like, because I mean he showed real shit in this game. Like he was really good on defense. Still not really somebody you can rely on offensively. I know he hit a couple threes, but they literally left him butt naked wide open 6 like different times, and he took 6 and made 2. So
Say what you want, but he's
um,
better, at staying in the moment and being ready than former All NBA player Ben Simmons.
sure.
The Ben Simmons strategy doesn't work on this man. He said
Sure.
game.
But yeah, I don't know what happens with Springer here on out. So we'll see. But
I
for
would,
right now,
of course,
phenomenal.
like to see more opportunity for him in games like this. Like I hope that there are moments where he's able to get in there again, because like you said, he showed real fucking defense today. Like there's a reason why he's in the NBA. There's a reason why the Celtics brought him in here. And I believe that this is it. The problem is, of course, the finances and what do you do with them after this season? And who knows? Maybe you get lucky and you can sign him for nothing. Even though I doubt that he would come back and say, let me just sit and watch again.
Yeah, it's tough. We'll see what happens. But anyways, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to How About Them Celtics, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, comment, tell us what you thought of Celtics Clippers. You can also hit the bell. We're here every single day with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Of course, none today. But we do have the game recap, which is always up the morning after each game. And other videos are up in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find Jack and I here streaming too. We're here for pregame a half hour before every single one. It's a ton of fun. Come hang out. We'll be back here at 9:30 Eastern tonight before they play those purple and gold motherfuckers. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple. All positive recaps are up there for you. So if you just want the audio, go ahead, follow us there. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very much. You can email us. You just saw us read RJ's email. hbtcpod@gmail.com is the address for that. Send your thoughts in on the recent stretch. Send your thoughts in on this game. Whatever it may be, send them in. You can send your rat list to hbtcpod@gmail.com. The socials are at How About Them C's. For Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.